Hello guys. Hello. Huh. Hello, good evening guys. My name is John Kalam from Kuhol Garage, and this is another live stream video that we are doing. And the reason why I'm making this video is to let you guys know, to share with you guys some insights regarding what a race car driver should think like, I guess, and a common pitfall that Filipino race car drivers have. That's what I noticed, and it was shown to us or highlighted to us recently by now deleted, I think, TikTok or whatever account, TikTok post by Bianca Bustamante. Um, I don't know who. I don't know her personally. I don't know Bianca personally, but I'll do relay some instances where I uh, have some very minor interaction, and then I would kind of like to educate, not. I'd like to educate the people that who are fans of motorsport, fans of Bianca, fans of her progress, fans of Formula One, I guess, fans of international motorsport. What does the driver think? Because there's a lot of people who watch races, but they just watch the races. It is their entertainment, but they don't participate in it. They don't really know what it's really like when you're in the driver's seat, or if you're involved in the motorsport activities that people that what you see on TV. Are you guys really aware what goes on in the minds of these motorsport competitors? With a lot of people that I see, a lot of fanboys, fangirls, they don't know, or maybe my experience, my interpretation of what motorsport is like as an actual competitor. It might be skewed, it might be different than what it is in reality. I have no idea, but one thing's for sure, as a motorsport competitor for the past 17 years, I kind of have felt in multiple occasions when I'm already lined up on the grid in a go-kart or in a tin top car, in a grid race, in a time trial race, and so on and so forth. I kind of know in my I obviously I've felt what I have felt, and I'd like to relate to you guys, and of course try to educate you guys in a more structured manner. Again, I'm also doing this video because uh, I may have this opportunity to be in the academy. I'm not 100% sure that I'll get in, but working hard towards that one, and I'm taking this time to practice. I'll start at 8 o'clock on what I want to say. Hopefully, I'll talk for 1 hour and then maybe have 15 minutes or more for any questions or any comments. See, here's the. Because right now, now it's a little bit of housekeeping with regards to our YouTube channel, which is KHL Motorsport Kuhol Garage. Or rather, it's the opposite. It's Kuhol Garage KHL Motorsport. The reason um, why we have two names, and obviously we have been competing in motorsport off and on for almost approaching 2 decades, and it's kind now as I become a bit older. I guess I'm not that old, but as compared to the people I see now competing in the grassroots level of motorsport here in the Philippines, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And even if I want to be a spring chicken, no one will believe that I am a spring chicken or that I don't know anything. And I really don't know what else to do in motorsport. There are budgetary constraints, realities that one has to face when you are an adult. So, um, I moving forward as a mere motorsport competitor on a personal level is a bit difficult at this stage for me. And yet, however, that's why I'm taking this opportunity to, from time to time, sharing with you guys I think motorsport should, what motorsport is in my own small way. Hopefully, you guys get to learn things. For those watching live and those who would be watching this stream later on replay. Huh. So, um, uh, let's look at some. Let's talk about our past video before we start our spiel, our prepared topic that's here right now. Our last video was, aside from the previous live stream, the previous actual video for the channel was documenting the progress of our supposedly Toyota Corolla, making it rear-wheel drive, body chopping it, whatever. I don't exactly know what you call that one. There's no progress on that one. We are working on customer projects here at the actual Kuhol garage, and in the other shop. We are working on Project Coupe All-Wheel Drive. I'm supposed to make a video on Project Coupe All-Wheel Drive to give you guys updates on that one, but unfortunately, our 4G63 powered hybrid, hybrid in the sense that it's an engine that is a Korean block with Japanese accessories. So it's kind of a mishmash. You could check out the rest of our project Coupe All-Wheel Drive series of videos on our YouTube channel. Do check out the playlist about the Coupe All-Wheel Drive. I think the last video on the car was like a year ago. That's no accident. We haven't worked on the car for a year, and we actually were able to resume on the car quite recently, about a month ago. I wasn't able to document too much as far as video is concerned, but um, rest assured that should be the next video um, that we would like to do. Maybe by tomorrow I'll be shooting something at the other shop where the car is at right now. Something horrible has gone wrong with that car. Uh, not to spoil not to spoil the surprise, but it is a painful and expensive mistake. Um, it's not a fatal mistake, but it has made us accrue even more expenses that at this point in time we're not supposed to be able to afford. But whatever, we have to try our best to get that car running. And I'm very excited to really feel like what a four-wheel drive sports car is like. It's like trying to build a Lancer Evo in the cheapest way possible and putting it in a body that I prefer. Huh. Um, I'm looking forward to driving that car in anger. Not really too angry that I would like to destroy it, but angry enough to see the limits of the car and have fun. That my I don't know exactly when, and there's a lot more things we want to do. We want to put air conditioning in the car. I don't want to drive a car without air conditioning anymore. That's not the way things will go when you're already old. You want comfort nowadays. I'm still in my somewhere in my 30s, so I can still tolerate some discomfort, but I'm getting to the point where I just want to be comfortable. So that will be the next video. It's not gonna be a live video. It's going to be a prepared video or a recorded video. It's 8 o'clock now. Well, let's start with the topic at hand that we have prepared right now. Again, I titled this presentation to be Bianca Bustamante and the Racing Mindset. I'd like to address that there was we're discussing a public personality. I don't know her personally, but I have had some experience, yeah, probably being in close proximity in a racing situation with Bianca. Possibly, not 100% sure. But I don't know her, and I don't have any issues with her, and she's kind of I'm kind of twice her age, so I have no interest in picking on a kid, and I have no interest in being in Tagalog, talangka or nalimango, pulling somebody down just for the sake of pulling people down. That's not my intention or my job in this thing. But I'm making this thing to make it a little bit instructional and a little bit to share insights with you guys on what exactly goes on in a racing driver's mind, especially a Filipino racing driver, and perhaps ways and means to correct that one if you are an aspiring race car driver and you already know how to drive. You kind of have to work on your mental. I am not an expert. I'm not a sports psychologist. I'm not a sports scientist. I'm not a sports professional. Well, I was a sports professional, but not necessarily in the training of athletes type of thing. I was in the management of motorsport as a motorsport official. But I would be drawing from my years of experience, actually competing, actually going through the mental hardships, the negative aspects of what you think in your mind. I've gone through that one and trying to figure out more positives when it comes to competing. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not a pro. I'm not trained to be an athletic coach. There are people way better than me on that one, but I can only share with you experiences of me as a competitor in motorsport in various levels and various disciplines of motorsport. So anyway, with that, let's discuss what was the social media post of Bianca. Okay, work. Okay, so this was a screenshot made in a Facebook page that I frequent that discusses about Formula One. So supposedly this TikTok post has been deleted. I don't I don't really care, and I won't even bother to try to look for it. We can already glean from this screenshot on what the issue is here. According to this screenshot, um, there's something written as a caption. Take it from a girl who has pursued her F1 dreams and turned it to a reality. When she was homeless at 16, barely surviving, having to work for food, couldn't afford to take her braces out, begging everyone for a drive anywhere. I don't know her. I don't know her life story, to be honest. So I have no judgment. However, comments have been made. Especially you could see on the right, and then we could zoom in on that one. You could, oh, you can see. I don't think you could see the comments. Let me try moving my head. Let me try moving my head. Okay, you can see the comments here. Okay. Yeah, she studied in Southville, studied in UST. You went to high school in a gated community. To join your race, you had to spend 100,000 euros. What else are they talking about? Okay, you went to a high school for the rich, and you go to one of the biggest universities in the country. How did you get to F1? This comment here on the bottom. How, not hating or anything, I'm just curious. How did you get to F1 Academy if you weren't financially well off? It takes quite a lot of money to fund a future driver's career. Okay, my very first point, guys. All right, let's start with here. Okay, it's it, let's start with the first point, my bias and point of view. Okay. Um, First of all, I don't know her life story. We can only rely on what she says, right? Maybe in 16 she was really homeless. Where was she when she was 16 years old? I don't know. Maybe it's the truth. Homeless, I don't know. I don't know where she lives. But definitely the commenters do have a point, right? To be able to go and do racing, even to start and try to continue it, it does require money. Okay, duh. Even for me, in last year I tried to do a season of slalom racing on a budget, but there's no way I could reduce the budget to a level below 6,000 peso a day. Every time I go, the good thing is races happen only, probably once a month or sometimes twice in a month. Uh, but however you slice it and dice it, and it's only for one day at a time, by the way. Not like in other motorsports that you have to spend 2 days, 3 days at track or at the venue. In slalom, what I did, uh, is only a 1 day affair, usually on a Sunday. So it's like you can utilize your Sunday to enjoy a whole day of racing and hang out with the people and fellow racers that you have. Okay? Whatever you do for that one day, however you scrimp, you really kind of have to have at least 6,000 pesos and willing to spend. You must be willing to spend 6,000 pesos a day. That's a lot of money. Uh, a month's salary in the Philippines, I think what's the minimum now? More than 650 peso a day. They've increased. They've added 25 pesos or 35 pesos to the daily rate. So I'm guessing an average salary of an average person is about what, 13,000. Let's even make it 14,000 a month. And spending 6,000 pesos in a day is that's like 40% of your salary, monthly salary. right? If you are a minimum wage earner. So that's not cheap. Motorsports is not cheap, and that's already the cheapest form of motorsport that I could find. All right, you go rental kart racing, you go to e-kart raceway in SM North EDSA. You can go there once, you'll just spend $1,000 or something. You go for a package, it's 2,500 pesos. For a three, and that's not a race. That's just like you going around the track for 7 or 8 minutes, I think, at a time. So if you get a 24-minute three session deal, so for 24 minutes, um, you're going to spend 2,500 pesos. Is that, let's compute that one. 2,500 divided by 24 minutes, because it's 8 times 3. 8 sessions times 8 minutes times 3 sessions. You're spending 104 pesos a minute in a go-kart. Okay? Motorsport's not cheap. Okay? So, if I'm already crying over 6,000 peso for a day of slalom, and I had to do that at a minimum of 9 times a year to a maximum of 12 times a year, okay, that's approximately, on average, very roughly, that's 60,000 to 72,000 a year. That's a lot of money. And that's for a year of motorsport in slalom. Alright, you guys are commenting about Bianca Bustamante, that she is, what you call this, studying in a very fancy, highfalutin private school and studying in a highfalutin university. UST, I'm sorry, I graduated from UP. I like UST also, but well, I'll explain why I believe that UP is the more saucy university than even Ateneo and La Salle. I'll explain that later. Okay, I'm a graduate of La Salle, I'm a graduate of Ateneo, and I'm a graduate of UP at the same time. Well, not at the same time, I mean in different courses of my academic career. So, um, my point of view is that, look, you cannot judge somebody. Oh, you studied in, what did they say, what school? Let's go back. Let's go back. You went to Southville International School. Southville International School is in Las Piñas. I studied there for 1 year in, I think it was kinder or something. I don't know. 1 year. Okay. Wow, how much is tuition there? 150,000, 200,000 a year? Okay. How do you know how much karting is for 1 weekend of karting? Do you guys have any idea, to do it in the Philippines, how much karting is? Okay, Southville International School tuition, is it 200,000? Is it 250,000 a year? I don't know. Let's say it's 200,000 a year. I have no idea. Okay. Do you know how much is it to race on a race weekend? I've heard estimates, okay, from good sources, that to race in the national series of karting here, right? People are spending what? 200,000 a weekend. Okay, 200,000 a weekend. At tuition fee, 200,000. Let's make it even 500,000. Maybe they're spending 500,000 a year. Okay, that's a whole year, or 2 semesters. Let's make it even 2 semesters. I don't know how much. Let's even pretend, all right? So for a year of education, all right, for a whole year of education, you would be able to only race 3 weekends, 2 weekends in karting in the Philippines. Okay? Who cares if you're studying in Southville, you're studying in Brent, you're studying in La Salle Zobel, you're studying in I don't know what others highfalutin schools are there. Okay, wherever you're studying, man, to do a whole season of go-karts is a hell of a lot. 10 years ago, at least, at the very least, more or probably more than 10 years ago, when I joined one of my first uh, endurance karting events in my life with City Kart. Okay, I was paired up with this group of expats, right? And he had this expat had a kid who was in karts. I asked the father, what's your, sorry, I have to be blunt, I have to talk about money. And so I don't usually talk about money, but I was definitely curious. And he was like a white guy, so I think, he would be more open with money discussion. And he was. So I asked him, for your son, when you do, what's your typical budget for an uh, annual motorsport program for karts? The, 10 years ago, their budget was 3 million a year. 3 million pesos. That's like a house and lot somewhere. Okay? That's like a house and lot in Camellia or something. 3 million a year. Yeah, you think tuition fee, what school is 3 million a year if you don't go abroad to study? Okay? So it's kind of myopic to criticize Bianca. Oh, studied in a nice school. I also studied in a nice school for my elementary high school. What difference does that make? Do my parents, did they have enough money for me to throw away to play with go-karts? Were they willing to finance my career in go-karts? That's why I never did go-karts in the serious sense. The only go-kart racing experience I have is with rental karts. I never had the opportunity to sit and drive an actual racing cart. Never in my life. I almost had one opportunity to do that, but they assumed I already have experience. So anyway, wasn't able to do that even up to now. I've done karts, but only rental kart racing. I've done a lot of rental kart racing, but only rental kart racing. And definitely people like Bianca have done all the highfalutin big the national, at the very least, the national carts, and I'm sure she has done some international ones. I don't know her CV, racing CV, but definitely she must have had some racing experience in like Macau or something. Anyway, so okay, let's move on. But the thing is, they like to, a lot of race car drivers, Bianca is not unique here. Everyone wants to pretend that, oh, kawawa naman ako, oh, kawawa naman ako. We Filipinos are like that. We like to be the underdog when it comes to competitions. Why do we root for, um, eh, why do we root for our heroes, our typical heroes in the telenovelas, right? Because they're fighting against a foe that is bigger, more powerful than them, right? And then we like watching those things aside from the romance stuff, right? But the typical stories that we like to listen to, the things we subscribe to when we watch our local cinema, our local TV, our hero is always the underdog person. Despite whatever hardship he or she may face, he or she will overcome and defeat the people who are richer, more powerful, whatever. We're in motorsport, gas-gas na yan sa akin. Okay? gas, sobra-sobra na yung concept of underdog kami. Despite whatever, I have I have a racing friend. I have a friend. Underdog daw siya. He's a provinciano, going to race in Manila and trying to battle all the Metro Manila people and achieving success and this and that and all of that. But what you don't know, the guy is a billionaire. He has a supercar or fleet of supercars in his province. If he can afford to race in Formula V1 or Vios Cup or Radical or whatever, he can definitely do so. He can probably pay for the whole uh, he can pay for the whole grid to race against him. But everyone wants to be the underdog in this scenario. Okay, in every motorsport scenario. Oh, I have like I mean that's also my story also. I also wanted to think that way. Oh, I'm racing my cheap ass Korean car and I'm trying to beat all these very fast race cars with my crappy Korean car. I mean, I'm not immune to that. So I already know the story also. I know all these, kumbaga, sa Tagalog, gas-gas na yung kwentong yan. We all want to be underdogs, but I guess the people um, commenting do not understand that part of the psyche of a Filipino race car driver. So I'm sure Bianca is not immune to that also. That's why she has had that spiel. Yeah, you guys think that she's pretending to be poor and whatnot to gain sympathy and all that. Yeah, that's part of it, but it's just that that's how we kind of are wired, I guess. Okay, because it's not only hers, everyone in motorsport that does that for whatever reason. So that's not unique to to Bianca, and that's not that she's doing anything beyond what is normal in in with Philippine race car drivers. Okay. Okay, we did part 3, cost of racing versus tuition. Okay. Uh, when you obviously we are all talking. We are all privileged in motorsport somehow or the other. Okay, even if you are starting out, even if you are uh, racing in the lowest levels or in the grassroots levels of motorsport, like what I told you, it's not cheap. I mean, I'm thankful that I have had that opportunity to go to do the things that I've done, to experience the things that I did in Philippine motorsport. I am very very fortunate. Okay. Well, I could not say that I was super duper wealthy and all that, but we did some business and we kind of had to pay for whatever it is that we wanted to do, right? That pushed us to be in business. We did not have any social privileges, or I did not. I'm not anybody. Do you know the last name Kalam? We're nobody. Okay, we're not any big family as compared to the other people. I studied in a school when I in my elementary and high school years where we my classmates were like scions of industry. Okay, big names, old rich people. I mean, people from the old rich families. What I did not realize because I was a dumbass, right? I was a classless fool. Okay. But especially when I went to UP. Alright, fine, I went to UP for college. I was, I guess, smart enough, whatever. Uh, But I attended this class. Or again, I had classmates who were like all these, you know, from political families, from old rich families. The professor was doing the roll call. It was a class of like 25 to 30 people. The professor was doing the roll call. Miss so and so, he had the class register. Miss so and so, are you related to Mayor so and so? Yes, he's my tito. Miss so and so, how are you related to Senator so and so? Yes, he's my lolo. Miss so and so, how are you related to the clan who owns this mining company in Visayas, Mindanao? Yeah, that's our family. We have that business. We have a lot of business in Mindanao, Visayas, whatever. Right? So I found myself in this class where like all these there were a lot of like rich guys there for whatever reason, and this is UP, oddly enough, right? And the guy called my name. My scientific name. My name has Mohammed, right? I'm also a Mohammed, right? That's my first name. Okay. So he calls my name, right? Mr. Kalam. And he sees Mohammed there. Okay, on my name. He says, Mr. Kalam, so, are you Muslim? And I was like, Opo, sir. Problema ba, sir? And I think when I blurted that out, I thought I made a huge mistake. I thought I'm gonna fail the class, but thankfully my classmates laughed and laughed and laughed. So I think I got away with that one. But I did make an impression on the professor because the professor called me talked to me after class, and he was saying like, "Di ka naman na-offend sa sinabi ko ah." No sir, no problem, no problem. So it's not you cannot say that you're nobody, your family's nobody, you guys are low class people from whatever. That's not an excuse. You can always level up. You have to be yourself and you have to make yourself strong, right, to overcome any insecurities you may have about your filial credits and whatnot. And then also in motorsport, it also helps that like you have a relative who knows what they're doing. I had no relative who knows anything about motorsport. So, how the hell do I overcome that? The only way to overcome the absence of nepotism is just make a lot of mistakes. So, anyway. But what opens up what opens up opportunities and what creates the luck? It's not how much money you have, what your family status is. It's not who your dad and your mom is this and that person in motorsport or in whatever sport or in whatever field of business and politics, right? It's not there. Those are just legs up, right? Those three things. And there may be more advantages that one may have. Looks, whatever. But what really will make the difference on your success in whatever career you want to do is your drive and desire to succeed and push and push and push. Okay? You want to be in Formula 1, well, there's a bit of an age thing there and a timing and an opportunity that may or may not be really available for you. But you want to do something in motorsport, you want to work in motorsport, you want to compete in circuit, you want to join the Vios Cup, be a formula driver locally, internationally, regionally, whatever. if you have the drive, you have the desire, you have the will to really push yourself to do whatever it is that needs to be done in order to achieve what you want, you will do it. It's not even age that will even stop you. Okay? But then again, why be a professional driver? Why be a professional race car driver? That's work also. Once you reach that level, why it's a job. Okay? You think Bianca Bustamante is having a hell of a time doing whatever the hell she's doing for McLaren and in whatever racing series that she is joining and will be joining in the future. You think that's easy? You have to train, you have to deal with sponsors and this and that. It's work. It's a full-time job and then some. It's not, it's not a hobby. So, do I feel jealous? No, I don't feel jealous. It's a job. If you have that opportunity, you have to work for it and work in it. Work while you're in it. You think Bianca, going back to the money thing, do you think Bianca Bustamante has the money to pay, as you guys say, 100,000 euro entry fee? I did read an article that she has some sort of personal sponsorship with an Australian company, an investment firm. I mean, why will they invest in Bianca Bustamante? It's because that there is a very unique, not really unique, but it's not a common investment vehicle, but there that you can also, while you can invest in stocks, real estate, intellectual properties, bis, uh, uh, businesses, whatever, right? There's all these investment vehicles that you may deploy your idle funds on. But one thing that's uncommon that I never heard of also until I read the article was that you could also invest in athletes that are coming up the ranks, and then when they make it, that's where the investor will get repaid. Okay? So I think, I am not 100% sure, but I believe that Bianca's in that sort of thing. So again, that's the thing. It's a job. It's really a business. It's not more. It's more than a business. It's more. Sorry, it's more than a job. It's a business. That's why you think, ooh, Formula One driver, ooh, poverty porn, whatever. You want, she's trying to do this. She's marketing herself the best way she knows how. It's just unfortunate that she has to go with the underdog style of marketing, which may or may not work for her, but I'll discuss that in a while. And she's merchantable because she's a woman race car driver. Women in motorsport, sad to say, it's a male-driven industry. Motorsport, who watches motorsport? Yes, we have Drive to Survive, and there's a lot of women now watching Formula One and being aware of what international motorsport is. So eventually, we will have more and more women driving and racing cars and dicing it together with the men. So I think that would be a reality in the next 10 to 20 years. That will, as far as people driving, you'll have a lot more women who would be joining us. So there are already women racing already in the Philippines. But at this point, it's still a male-dominated sport. And those who are interested in motorsport are men. And so, if you have women there, it's already an attraction in a sense, attractive in a marketing sense, attractive. It's sad to say, there's a bit of that. You kind of have, it's like selling a little bit of one's sexuality also in a sense, right? Sad to say. That's why women are very attractive to potential sponsors and whatnot. You know, I in local motorsport, I've seen women who are marginal drivers. They're okay, they're not good, but they get all these opportunities, all these sponsorships. Right? You can accuse me of being a misogynist or whatnot, but that's the truth. Okay? They're getting opportunities because of their gender. But are they performing? Some of them are. That's the good thing. Some of them aren't, but they're pretty. So I guess that's also one thing that Bianca has, uh, you know, let her take all whatever advantages she has, right, instead of being the underdog. Okay, all right. Uh, is anyone here? Well, there's no one watching now. I don't know if my audio is any good. Can anyone comment if you guys can hear me okay? Anyway. Filipino racing mindset. Actually, you could look, you can replace racing. You can replace racing on top. You can just make it Filipino cultural mindset. Okay? One has we have to be aware what is our cultural baggage on the positive or and in the negative. Okay? Because if we know our positives, we can build on that and utilize our strengths to move on and do better things. And then the negatives that we have, we can work on those, minimize them in order also to work on those things. But in motorsport, whatever cultural baggage we have, and I'm not criticizing because I'm a Filipino even though I don't look like Filipino, okay? Don't accuse me of being born in a farm or something. I'm not telling you guys that I'm born in a farm, but I'm born in the province. I'm a provinciano, I'm a Bicolano. Anyway, so I'm Filipino, like probably a lot of people watching. And um, I I do observe this in myself. I do observe it also in others. All these character traits that we have, cultural traits that we have. And I'm discussing with you guys now what it is in relation to motorsport. Uh, let's start with the negatives, right? Again, I'm telling you, there's a lot of racers that have this underdog mentality. Oh, because despite whatever, I'm able to overcome all these things, despite whatever, I'm only a normal, simple person, and yet I'm able to do all this winning and these championships and this and that. Okay, again, sanay na ako sa ganyan storya, right? That, that's a compelling story, but if everyone is having the same story, then what kind of story is that? It's a boring story. Okay? Crab mentality. We know this one. Asal talangka. Okay? When someone does good for themselves, there's a tendency, like crabs, that we pull this person down. Okay? I believe that that mentality is rooted in two things. One's personal insecurity and one's jealousy. Okay, if we're insecure, what we kind of feel bad about ourselves, and then we kind of wanna take it against the other person for achieving, right? And we're jealous also that he's achieving. He has this, he has this, he has this. Why don't we have? that one. I'm not uh, I'm not immune to this. I am the same. Why is that guy having all these opportunities? Why is this guy getting all the press? Why is this guy being supported by their parents very well? Why is this guy the son and the daughter of this and that person? I also feel insecure. I also feel jealous. But those are negative emotions that don't do anything to make you fast. Right? Um, People pleasing demeanor. Um, well, culturally, we kind of that's why Filipinos are very personable because we like to please, right? We like to please others, but the thing the thing is because we want to please people, we cannot confront people with whatever it is that they're doing. They making mistakes, this and that. I mean, in motorsport, I guess the people there don't necessarily have this one sometimes. Some people don't have this one. They could be a bit, in Tagalog, minsan may marami, well, actually, may karamihan na gago. But, uh, but on the other hand, also we have when you're racing, sometimes you always think, hey, if I do this, maybe that guy will get mad at me. Will get that guy will get mad at me. That's kind of also my problem. Maybe I make a mistake. I hit this guy, whatever. He'll be mad at me. Uh, Sometimes you have to overcome that aspect. Okay, but in communication, we have this problem as Filipinos that we kind of don't talk directly. When we talk in our language, we kind of fish around and try to insinuate what we exactly mean. That's a character of our communication, our language, our Filipino language, whether Tagalog. I think Cebuano would be similar also. Okay, we don't say directly what we want to mean. We we rely on the receiver or the recipient of the message to infer the meaning of what we are trying to say. Okay, like for example, um, in Tagalog, um, like you're gonna show that, if you're gonna give instruction, like example, you're requesting something, right? So sometimes you ask the waiter something, pare, meron ba kayong ganito? Anong pagkain mo? I mean, that's a bad example, but you get what I mean. We don't speak direct. However, the Filipino culturally has a lot of positives. Right? Let's skip number 1. Let's start from the bottom. We are empathetic and generous as people, right? We help each other. We are a collaborative bunch of people. We like helping people. And then when we have a task, we like working with other people towards the completion of a task. And we really care about uh, our community when we do things. Okay? So that's why in team effort, in social situations, in showing empathy also to our customers, we're the best retail people. Okay? Then when we face difficulty, we find humor. We find light in difficult situations. Sometimes we have a little bit of gallows humor in us. But from what I'm hearing now, our youth, the young people are losing that thing, that personality. Professors are telling me that the youth are a bit serious, take things too seriously, and don't find the humor in a lot of things. So that's kind of difficult. But most importantly, we Filipinos, wais tayo, we're very resourceful. Maparaan tayo, guys. Okay? To achieve what we want, we try to do whatever, right? And the beauty of what we do, sometimes we try to do it the easy way also. Okay? Uh, um, or we are also able to do things with limited resources. I'm very shocked that one of my tuning heroes, Mike Kojima, when he was being interviewed by, or he was interviewing Rob Dam in their YouTube video. Moto IQ is online magazine that Mike Kojima runs. He's my tuning idol from the Sport Compact Car days. And he has been a motorsports engineer for the longest time. So they were discussing about engineering between Mike Kojima and Rob Dam. Rob Dam was featuring all his fancy computer software in order for him to easily develop the car. So Mike Kojima was mentioning, oh, you know how we do it? We do it, we do Filipino engineering. So I'm like, what? Mike Kojima is not Filipino. He says, you know how we do it? We do it, you know how they used to do it or they continue to do it? He says Filipino engineering. We use strings, we use rudimentary tools and whatnot. So I'm like, what? So even in America, these excellent engineers are familiar with what Filipinos can do when it comes to engineering. All right, using limited resources. So we have that resourcefulness innate to us. And even that's why if you really kind of look at this one, how you segment Filipinos, Filipino culture, that we are collaborative, we like to work in a team, we like to keep peace among our peers, we people please, we even try to please our superiors, please our customers. Okay, we're very resourceful. And so on and so forth. I'm sure there are other aspects that I've not covered. But that's why I really believe that Filipinos make the best racing mechanics. So maybe perhaps you guys should not worry if you cannot go drive. Maybe we should just focus on being mechanics. I think that probably being mechanics probably suits us better than being drivers. This is my last slide. The winning mindset, I put an asterisk there because this is not a completely trashed out idea that I have. Okay? This is probably just a subset of what really should be at the back of your mind. Okay? When you are going to compete in motorsport. I really believe that you must really take a personal SWOT analysis, in a sense. That you kind of need to know your strengths, you kind of need to know your weaknesses. And you have to evaluate what opportunities are there for you and what are the threats also. The threats that are against whatever it is that you want to be doing. You kind of have to do that internal SWOT analysis. I mean, your personal SWOT analysis. And you need to know your personal weaknesses. Your situational, personal meaning you have any attitude problem, you have a physical deformity, or you have a mental condition, no judgment. But you need to take stock on what you kind of are. Like me, I'm overweight. Okay? And I may not be 100% super duper healthy because I'm like not that young anymore. Okay? I don't think I have any major illness, but I'm, hypertensive. So that's my personal thing. Situational, okay, money wise, oops, there's an issue with budget. How do I go compete in Formula V1? Can I afford the 2.2 million or whatever price of a Formula V1 is and go and compete? I don't know. Well, definitely not at this point. So, wow. So that's a weakness, a financial weakness. Okay, you're busy, you don't have enough time to develop yourself. You're busy with work, you're busy with school. So that's your situation now. You don't have time to race. Cultural weaknesses like what I discussed. Oh, you're Filipino. I have a secondary baggage. I'm half Indian. I was born here, raised here, but I don't think you will be able to get rid of the Indian that is in my blood. That comes out from time to time. Both a strength and a weakness. So if you identified your weaknesses, you kind of have to minimize it or convert it to a positive or just manage it. Okay, you know that you're shy, you want to collaborate instead of be, like the alpha dog or whatever. Okay, then you manage that one. You don't take roles, don't take positions that will necessitate you to be the alpha dog, right? And so on and so forth. Or if you really want to go racing, you want to lead, sometimes you have to tell if you sometimes are shy to talk, but sometimes you have to be blunt. You need to tell your mechanics, hey, the car doesn't turn, the car understeers, the car's overheating, there's an issue here. You have to communicate clearly, legibly what is your issue with the car. And when you talk to sponsors or you talk for sponsors, you have to be legible, you have to be clear. You need to express and mention them and mention their products, their things. You have to be a people person. If you're not a people person, you have to be a people person. You have to do your job. So if these are your strengths, you focus and improve on them. And if you can find more strengths, add on to your toolkit. Okay. Okay, these last 2 points are very, very important. That's why I've I've been very lucky to have a mentor who is not afraid to give me a dressing down if I need it. A mentor in motorsport. A mentor in motorsport like that is very invaluable. And I've had that dressing downs from time to time. Not only with this particular mentor, but also other older people. Okay. I believe that this underdog mentality is a weakness in a race car driver. Despite whatever I'm going to overcome, it's like we're always in this telenovela. Uh, why can't we realize that whatever our weaknesses are, we don't have to gloss or we don't have to obsess over those things like despite this, despite hardship, despite our poverty, despite being homeless at 16 or whatever it is that Bianca said, and whatever these other people have said about themselves, these other race car drivers. I think it's a weakness because you're putting your weakness, you're giving it importance in your mind. Okay? I got a dressing down when I brought a rally car. I did not drive in the race, but I brought a race car to a racing event. It was my very first race car that I built for somebody else. Okay, so you can say it was my first customer race car, but I built it for a friend. I brought it to the racetrack or wherever it is I brought it. Um, I built the car for the son of somebody. So the father is a known motorsport personality, and the son, by extension, is a known motorsport personality. So the son was racing the car, whatever this and that, blah, blah, whatever. I brought the car with positive camber. So both of them were pissed at me that I brought the car with positive camber, but I was focused on achieving something with the suspension, and the side effect of that was having positive camber. So people were criticizing the car because of the camber setup, and they were also pissed because they knew, and the whole world knows that positive camber is never a good thing. So I brought the car with positive camber. I the the son was racing the car. So I was seated with the father and then talking and talking, talking. I said, "I'm sorry that I did that. I don't know how to build a race car," I said. "It is my first time and I did not know what this motorsport is like. I'm trying to ask and ask and ask. But it seems that, I still don't know enough about building a race car." And the old man told me, "Nobody will believe you that you don't know anything." So do not pretend that you do not know what you're doing. Do not use it as an excuse. You know what you are doing and you know what you did. The only thing you can do is improve and do it better next time. And after that time, I took that to heart, and therefore everything that I do, if I have those weak thoughts, I don't know anything or what or what or what, I just erase it. I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna be focused on being an underdog. Oh, despite this only amount of money, I'm only able to do this one to this car. No. Use your limitations to your advantage. That race car, the reason why it has positive camber is because I fitted suspension from a rally car that had longer shock absorbers, and they were inverted strut. I made a mistake, or I did not necessarily made a mistake. I wasn't able to address the situation in time. That was the God honest truth on that scenario. I could have said it that way, but why did I say it? Oh, I don't know anything. I make mistakes, this and that. Luckily, this guy told me that I should not think that way. And neither should you if you want to go racing. Even if you want to be a mechanic, you want to be a race car driver. Don't think that. Don't give your mind any excuses. There's no excuse. You lose, you lose. Your car broke down. You guys did not prepare that your car broke. It's your fault. As a driver, it's your fault. You did not make sure that your car's in good condition. The guy hit you, it's your fault. You put yourself in that scenario, did not evade. Do not make any excuses. Do not make yourself weak. And weak thoughts make you a loser. And this is a lesson that I want to also remind myself. That in whatever hardship that one may have in life, you can always transcend it. Do not allow yourself to lose. If you already want to give up, you already lost the battle. The game isn't over until you die. Just keep on playing the game until you win. And when you win, continue to try to win. And sometimes you kind of need the confidence to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. Sometimes you don't have that confidence that you could do it. How do you gain that confidence? You have to, what I did and do up to now, I read about successful people. See, and especially focus on the times where they have not done well for themselves. And the successful people have gone through all these hardship even worse than what I currently experience. So the takeaway of that is if they can do it, if they can transcend their problems, so can you or so can I. So that's one way for me to build that confidence, and that's one way you could also build that confidence. Confidence is king. You have to be confident in that you could do it. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, you want to win, you'll figure out the way to do it because you can, and you should be confident. If you're not confident, sad to say, pretend to be confident. Act like you're confident. If you do not feel it, you try to act it. But then again, not too much. Hubris is too much, right? Okay? You also have to be mindful that if there are things that you don't know, and you have kind of no idea how to kind of achieve it, you also kind of have to know that you have to be familiar with yourself that you actually can't do it. Okay? You can BS only up to an extent. Right? The proof is in the pudding. It's not the talking about the pudding and the discussion about the pudding. It's the making and the eating of the pudding that matters. Okay? Don't veer towards hubris too much. But you need to be confident. If you're not confident in what you're doing, especially when you're driving a car that you can use to harm yourself and harm others, right? Make sure that you don't take driving a 2,000 pound, 1,000 kilo race car. Okay, don't take that lightly also. Okay. So anyway, that's an incomplete thing about the winning mindset of a race car driver or a motorsport thing. So the thing that I want to kind of share to Bianca, but I'm sure she already knows this, and I'm sure she would have access to like a sports psychologist and whatnot, and proper coaching and whatnot. I mean, yeah, maybe it's good that you receive that backlash that people are telling you, oh, you studied in some nice school and you live in a nice place, whatever the people are saying. I don't know. Maybe it's good you got that backlash. Maybe you would realize that hey, you don't need to make paawa. Maybe that would be better. Maybe that would do you better in your racing career. and you're able to do things that a lot of us could only dream of. So Godspeed to you, Bianca, and I hope you do well. And maybe, hopefully, there would be an open slot for you in Formula One. I don't know, but continue fighting. We don't know where you'll end up, but you'll end up somewhere where you really deserve to be if you really put the effort. That's my belief for myself, and I believe that also for you. So good luck, and wishing you the best in any endeavor that you are pursuing and will be pursuing. Anyway, that's basically it. Is there anyone watching? Based on our analytics, there are people who have popped in 30 times viewing this live stream. But there's no questions this time. Not like last time, there were people having questions. I don't even know if there's audio. It seems to be audio, but I'll take a listen to this one later. Let's look at. So, um, how do we end this stream? Let's do something before we end the stream. Again, I'd like to reiterate that, in motorsport, it's not cheap to do to be in this thing. It's really a passion thing. And porket may pera ka also, you'll be able to do great things in this one. No. Uh, what really helps really is to have instruction. Is really to find someone who would be willing to hold your hand in whatever it is that you want to do, whether you're a beginner or you're already up there. Um, Getting coaching is invaluable in whatever level of motorsport you are in, as most especially when you're already high up there, because there would be no resource, no recourse for you to see where you're going wrong, what where else you could still improve, to tune up your mind, to focus on your mental. Uh, to people watching this one now and in the future, please remember that we are also offering our motorsport consulting service here at KHL Motorsport. So you could contact us on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Kuhol Garage. If you find uh, if you find all these things that I'm saying useful, um, and you do agree that you kind of want to go towards like the next level, and you need expert advice, you can always go and message us. Most likely, I would be personally be the one to hold your hand in the figurative sense in your motorsport career. So do not make if you're really serious in this one, the worst mistake is to do it aimlessly, which I have done for the first 10 years of my motorsport career. I have done so much mistakes. I have learned a lot of wrong things which I had to unlearn. So, if you don't find also us interesting for that particular service, uh, just be assured that, I mean, not be assured, but just make sure that you find somebody that you believe that will really help you. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, a parent, right? Who could really guide you into this career. Find that person and value that person. I have had mentors in my life, several actually, and I am very much blessed that I have had there. That they have extended their time and they have extended their concern with me, and gave me a lot of constructive criticism for me to improve. And that is also my wish and my prayer to you, towards you, that you guys can also find somebody who would give you that expert advice, expert coaching, mentorship in the field of motorsport. If this is the field that you want to delve into. But if you consider us to be that provider of that particular service, do message us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Kuhol Garage. Some other plugs. KVI Quick Lube is your source for tires, wheels, batteries, and lubricants in the Sukat Parañaque area. We do sell a bunch of tire quality brands of tires in the shop. We have high-end, mid-range, and budget meal brands of tires for all sorts of budgets and all sorts of purposes. And again, since we are KVI Quick Lube, we also have a whole range of lubricants, also from mineral, semi-synthetic, fully synthetic, gasoline, diesel, motorcycle, and also lubricants for transmission, gear, greases, and various other sundry supplies for the lubrication needs of your vehicle. And we also do periodic maintenance services at the shop. We're based in Sukat, Parañaque. Please do check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/kvi.QUIKLUBE. So guys, hope that you guys watching this would support our businesses. But for me, I really am knocking on wood. I'm knocking on wood that I would be able to join the academe, and talking like this would be part of my normal work life. And again, this is serving as like my kind of a little practice, and talking about topics that I like, and topics that I can really share a lot of so-called expert insight. I'm getting sniffly. So, guys, there are no questions, so I guess I'll end the chat. I'll end the chat. I'll end the stream. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this live stream. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next video. I hope to kind of make it. Maybe I'll start making it tomorrow. What else will I do? I'll update you guys on Project Coupe All-Wheel Drive. We've been working on it. It's running. It was running, but unfortunately, something broke. But I think by the end of this coming week, it should be buttoned up. I'm hoping, inshallah. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Jahan Kalam, and I'm speaking for and in behalf of the Facebook, well, the YouTube channel, Kuhol Garage KHO Motorsport. So, until the next series of live streams and the next series of videos, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Ciao!